What's with it, fight fans? How y'all doing? We had some great action over the weekend. But before we dip into the action, you already know. Jab that like button, punch that subscribe button, and knock out that bell notification for the latest updates. Let's get to the business. So there was some great action over the weekend. We had Jerome Lipinets versus Sergey Lipinets. This was a great fight for the young superstar to display his skill set and show the world what he got. And not only did he do that, he made Sergey Lipinets look weak. Like, it was crazy because all the people were saying that this was going to be Lipinets' hardest fight year to date. And he showed why he has that special skill set and how he knows how to use it. His footwork was tremendous. Lipinets didn't know where to punch. It really was like the matador and the bull. Lipinets was just coming, and then he'll have to turn around and look because Boots would sock him and be out of there. And the fight, as soon as the bell rung, the fight heated up. Boots was cooking already. That hot leather was hitting Sergey's face as soon as the bell started. And it continued all the way to the fourth round where he got the first knockdown. This knockdown was off of an uppercut. But when you looked at the replay, Sergey Lipinets kind of tripped on Boots' foot while he got hit. But then after that, it went to the sixth round, and then that's where Boots put him away. Boots was just too fast, too strong, too quick. He put Sergey's lights out with a right uppercut, then a right hook, and then he hit him with a left uppercut that knocked him back the other way. So it was a incredible knockout. You have to see Boots in this fight if you ain't seen him fight for sure. Great superstar on the uprise. So remember the name, Jerome Lipinets. And moving on in the weekly wrap up, we had another devastating knockout this weekend. Efe Ajagba. He fought Brian Howard. And this fight, it came out, Brian Howard was trying to do his thing. He was moving around. He was throwing punches. He actually connected a couple punches on Efe. And I think it kind of made Ajagba pretty mad. And then the first two rounds went by, and then just like a heavyweight fight, the third round came and it took one punch. And I thought Brian Howard was dead for a minute. It was a devastating knockout. One solid punch, the hot leather hit the side of his face, and he fell down like a bag of potatoes. I thought his knee was gonna be hurt. I just thought he was dead for a second. And then he got up, so it was a devastating knockout by Efe Ajagba, who you definitely need to be watching. He's a heavyweight on the uprise, a young heavyweight on the uprise, and he's making a lot of noise right now. So far, he's already killed somebody in the ring. So he has devastating power, and he displayed it this weekend on Brian Howard. He had a highlight knockout. I think it was number 3 on SportsCenter, number 3 or number 4 on SportsCenter as plays of the weekend. So that lets you know it was one of those knockouts. F.A. Ajagbe is must-see TV right now. But moving on in the weekly wrap-up, we had another great fight. Jerome Ankajas versus Jonathan Rodriguez. This was probably the best fight of the weekend for me. It went the distance. Jerome Ankajas got the unanimous decision, but this was a great fight. He even said after the fight that this was his hardest fight in his career. Jonathan Rodriguez came to fight. He definitely made a name for himself. It was his first fight in the States, and he handled business. Even though in a losing fashion, he made the fight a great fight. Both sides came to fight. They threw over 1,000 punches. Both fighters were throwing punches in bunches. So this was an exciting fight. It went back and forth. Ankajas, he took control of the fight early in the fight for the first 5 or 6 rounds. And then Rodriguez would come back and win a couple rounds. And then it came to the 8th round, and Rodriguez got dropped by Ankajas with a combination. So then he got up from that and then battled back, won some late rounds, and the fight was a close fight. But Ankajas won the fight, but it definitely was a close fight. This could be a rematch for sure. For sure. Because this was just a great fight on both sides. Rodriguez definitely deserves a rematch for that fight because he put on a hell of a show. But Ankajas was just a little too much. He had that good body punching and he got the knockdown. So this was a great one-sided fight. I'll definitely be looking for a rematch in this one. But moving on in the weekly wrap-up, we had Joe Smith Jr. versus Maxim Vlassoff. This was a great fight too. It went the distance. Joe Smith Jr. wins via majority decision. Right from the opening bell, they started trading punches, trading rounds. You know, Joe Smith will win a round, Maxim will win a round. They were hitting each other with good punches all throughout the fight. This was a great fight. It could be nominee for Fight of the Year as of right now because it hasn't been too many great fights this year so far. But this was a great fight to watch. If you didn't get to watch it, I would definitely check it out. It's just action-packed, rock'em sock'em robot type fight. Although Maxim Vlassoff, he had good movement in this fight. To me, according to my cards, how I judged the fight, I kind of thought Maxim won this fight. A close fight, but I thought Maxim took it, or it was going to be a draw. But I didn't think Joe Smith. In the middle rounds, it seemed like he fell off. He did come on at the end of the fight, but Maxim did too. Maybe I need to rewatch this fight, but I really thought Maxim had the better movement. He was connecting on a lot of punches. It just, it was a good fight though. I'm not mad that Joe Smith won this fight. It could have went either way. So this was one of those good fights you definitely need to watch if you a fight fan and you like watching real good fights. But Joe Smith, he won by majority decision. And that's the weekly wrap up. You know, jab that like button, punch that subscribe button, and knock out that bell notification for all the latest updates. Have a good one, y'all.